Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It is Rachel here with Makers Gonna Learn, your ultimate die cutting community. And today I have a wonderful video all about making larger than size print and cut projects. If you guys are familiar with print and cut, you know that there is a terrible rule in Design Space that they can only be 6.75 by 9.25 inches. And today we're gonna break that barrier and show you guys how to hack the system to make them as large as you want. This is gonna be a great tutorial and we only have a few supplies today, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. For supplies, the first thing that you're going to need today is this StarCraft inkjet printable transfer paper. So this stuff is the key to today's project success. This is a lot different than the new fun printable iron-on that you guys know that I love. This is a different type of product and it has a completely different outcome, and it's really, really cool. If you guys got to enjoy the pro course too, you will see in my baby milestone blanket video that I did this same process and it worked fantastic. So I wanted to bring you guys a smaller, less in-depth tutorial about how to do this on your own. If you want the really in-depth, really detailed version, definitely go check out the pro course too. So other than this amazing transfer, you'll also need an easy press. It really doesn't matter what size. Today we're using the 6x7. You're going to need two easy press mats. We have the medium and the large one. We have a beautiful canvas pillowcase. This guy is 15.5 by 15.5, and we got him from Hobby Lobby. He's just a regular canvas pillow, really cheap, really affordable. We're gonna also need a Teflon sheet. It does not have to be the Cricut brand. You can buy these off of Amazon. That is totally fine. We also have some awesome heat tape. If you guys are familiar with infusible ink, we use this heat tape often for projects like that, and we're gonna need this today. You can get this from Cricut, but we recommend getting it cheaper and faster from Amazon.com. And then of course you're gonna need your Cricut and a mat. We're using a really fresh light grip mat today. And other than that, guys, you're just gonna need a really awesome PNG file, and we'll go ahead in Design Space and show you guys the one that we have chosen for today. Alright guys, here we are in Design Space, and here is our beautiful little owl cut file that we're going to be using today. And back behind it, we also have a square, and this square is the exact dimensions of our pillow. So we just added a square in Design Space and blew him up to 15.5 on all sides here. And now you can see this is a great visual representation of the size of our pillow today. And then we'll go over here to makersgonnalearn.com, and you guys can see the adorable little owl PNG that we are using today. And all we did when we imported this was we removed these little I guess vine things on the top and bottom here. That's all that we did. And then once you load him, once you add him up into Design Space and you pop him on your canvas, this is what he'll look like. And now guys, since you have this amazing base in here in Design Space that it's the exact size of your pillow, all you have to do is size him according to what you want. Now, you do not have to size him according to the specifications of print and cut, because we again are going to hack that system and make as big print and cut projects as we want. So this is about how big we want this fella here to fit on our pillow nicely. We might even make him just a little bit smaller. And now once you like how large he is compared to your pillow, you can go ahead and erase that. And now the next big thing to do is to go ahead and grab another shape here. And we're going to be unlocking him so that we can change his height and width separately. And the width, we're going to have 9.25. And the height, we're going to have 6.75. And you can lock that back. And now that you have a square right here like you like it, we're going to go ahead and hold this over a little owl here. And if this ever happens to you and you really don't know why, go up here to Arrange and click Move Backward, and now you can see your little owl. So once you have selected your square, you want to try and fill your square with as much image as you can. So we're gonna move our square around the other way here and try and get as much owl on here as we possibly can. And this looks really good right here. So now what we're going to do, guys, we're going to drag over the whole thing, making sure you have them all selected, and we're going to slice. And now drag this away. We don't need that. This is the part we're keeping, and this is, again, another part we don't want. So now if you place him right together like he should be, he is perfect right there. So This is the process of slicing your print and cut projects to be able to make them as large as you want. So when you're done cutting this guy, you are going to be able to lay him down and heat tape him up to where you're not going to be able to see that he is two different pieces. So now if you look over in your layers panel, you don't see any more of those little caution signs because your Cricut thinks that you're doing this completely by the book and following all the rules, which you are. But in post, you will be able to create this guy and make him look like one super large print and cut. So now all we have to do is click make it. And one very important thing to note about this brand of printable iron-on is that you do have to mirror it. It's going to go image side down, so you want to make sure that you have mirrored that properly. And once you have both of those mirrors turned on, you can go ahead and click continue, and we will just connect to our machine. And the first thing you need to do is print these guys, okay? Make sure that you have a inkjet printer. This cannot be done on a laser printer. We're using our Canon TS8120. And it's totally fine to leave that bleed on. This should cut just fine. And now we're going to go ahead and click print. Okay, and now once you have these printed out, it is a little tricky to pick your material settings for this. So I'm just going to be honest, guys. We are going to be choosing heavy cardstock or craft board. The reason for this is because unlike the other type of printable heat transfer vinyl, this one will not have a backing. It should all cut seamlessly together. So we're going to go up here and type in craft, and we're going to select craft board here. And then we're going to click done, and we're going to load our mats one by one, and we're going to give more pressure as well. We really want these to cut well. And then we're going to go ahead and load our material onto our mat and load our mat into our machine. Alright guys, Design Space is showing this guy being cut first. So we're going to lay his little butt to the side, and we're going to load this onto our mat here in the top left corner. Get it as perfect as you can, but you don't have to be too perfect because these registration marks are here for the Cricut to sense and to scan, and then it'll be able to cut around this effortlessly. And you've also left bleed on, so if the Cricut is off by a millimeter or two, bleed will help hide that little mistake there. So now once you have this loaded onto your mat, just put it in the machine and let it cut. And while that is scanning and cutting, we can bring our pillowcase in here. And right now is a great time to preheat your easy press and to try and remove all the wrinkles out of your pillowcase. So we have our easy press set to 375 degrees and set for 30 seconds. And while that heats up, I'm going to show you guys this amazing StarCraft product a little closer so that you guys can get some. So this is just StarCraft for light materials, inkjet printable transfers, and it has great instructions, great washing instructions and things like that. So this is a very foolproof way to make sure that you are using this correctly. Always read your instructions because every printable HTV is different. And a little tip that we're going to be using today is to flip your pillow over, and since we have our zipper here in the back, we're going to open up our pillow and we're going to slip this medium easy press mat face down into our pillow, and this is going to help us be able to adhere our design better, to get all the wrinkles out better and things like that, because this little zipper is in the way a little bit. So if we are able to hide that zipper back there, we have a much better shot at getting all the wrinkles out and having success with our printable vinyl. So here's our first mat, and you can just remove the excess right off the mat there. And we're going to flip this guy over and go with gravity as we do with every project. And there is that little fella there. So now that you have his head done, grab his little butt and place it on there just the same way. And cut him out and just repeat that process. So now we're going to go through and preheat our pillow and get all of those little wrinkles out. And feel free to move around the mat inside that pillow there to be able to get the edges a little bit better, because the mat is only, I think, 10 by 10 and the pillow is 15 by 15, so you can get in here and move that mat around to get into the edges. And this not only removes the wrinkles, but it also helps remove that moisture from the pillowcase if there is any on there. So it's a win-win situation to go ahead and try and de-wrinkle your pillowcases. Now that we have both ends cut out, the next most important thing to do is to line this little fella up and turn him over and tape him in place. So I have learned that it is much easier to take one of the pieces, get yourself a good piece of tape here. Then we're going to add it to 1/2 of one side. So we're just going to go in here and add it just to a little half. Now once you have it on one side there, you can flip your owl over, and here you can see the exposed sticky side of the tape. You can bring your owl in and line it up to your preference. Now that looks pretty darn good. And once you like it where you have it, just flip it back over and add a little more tape around the little edges that you have missed. So I'll add a little bit right here. And then just a little bit over here on this corner as well. This is when you really want to take your time and make sure you like this placement, because this, guys, is going to make the difference between being able to notice that he was 2 halves and being able to never know that you did anything. So definitely take your time when doing this and try and make sure that your line is as even and in place as possible. And now when you have it right where you want it, we're going to go in here with our Teflon sheet. We're going to heat 1/2 of it for 30 seconds. Make sure you're giving really good pressure. And again, that heat is set to 375 degrees. And we're just going to do 1/2 and then the other half. And we're also going to peel this cool. So we have to peel the backing off of the front of this guy, and we're going to do that when it's cool. Now the directions say to do it when it's hot, but with all of my testing, guys, it did not work well when hot. So I'm tweaking that instruction for you guys. I'm going to pick it up and lay it on the other half. Press that flashing Cricut button again. And this side is cooling while we're doing this side, so that is good. That means we'll start on this side whenever it's cooled down, but just make sure you're giving good even pressure on both sides of the image. And now we'll put our Easy Press back on the dock and remove this Teflon sheet and allow this guy to cool a little bit. And then we're going to start down here on his feet because this is the cooler side, but we need to let this guy cool down almost completely before we start peeling that backing off. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is to pick a little corner where you can start. So just pick a corner. You might have to pull it with your nail just a little bit to get it going. And then you can peel and see the revealed image there. It's so cute. Just be gentle when you're having to use your nails. You don't want to, scrape up anything important off of your image. You just want to get that backing up. This will take some time, guys, so just be patient through it. It is worth it, trust me. This material feels nothing like new fun printable iron-on. It's like a completely different material. It's a really, really neat product to work with, especially if you have the time and the patience to work with it. So here you can see the lower half done, and now we're going to do the same for the upper half. We're just going to start in a corner and peel up. And here's your finished pillow, guys, and it is very, very smooth, and you can't even tell where that little seam is where he is in 2 parts. And now once you have him done, you can go ahead and turn him over. Open up that zipper, remove the Easy Press mat, and you can add your stuffing. I'm just using some loose stuffing, but you guys can use whatever you have around. If you have any pillow inserts or anything like that, you can totally use that as well. Just stuff the pillow to your desired fluffiness. What did you all think of this amazing pillow? I hope that you all enjoyed learning how to make larger than size print and cut images. I loved using this technique, and guys, now that you know how, you can use this for a ton of different things. Don't just chop it into 2 pieces, but if you have a larger project than I did, chop it into 3 or 4 pieces and puzzle them all together using your amazing heat tape. I will leave the links down below for these amazing products, and as always guys, like this video and leave us a comment down below if you have any questions or comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you guys have a die cutting machine that uses SVG or PNG cut files, you need to check out the very first link in the description below to see how you can become a member of Maker's Gonna Learn. We have over 1,500 digital cut files, over 250 fonts, access to a members only Facebook group, free printable guides, free commercial licensing, and so much more. Thanks for watching guys. Bye.